the biggest shift in compassion that I've had in recent times has been recently, actually, because of this one thing. What is that one thing, you ask? Suffering. The number one way to increase your compassion is to suffer. And I don't just mean everyday, normal, mundane world suffering. Just like, oh man, today I'm having like an okay day, mediocre, meh. Instead, the way to get compassionate fast is acute suffering. If you suffer acutely, you suffer really badly and you're like, oh, I understand you. I understand your pain. Oh my God. And what's crazy about this is like, I find that I become really mature after I move out of suffering that was really troubling me. And this is the insight I want to share with you, man. What I've noticed about this is that suffering helps you be wise. It helps you see the truth. Over time, as you meditate more, as you do more consciousness work, as you just live more, dots begin to connect and you just start to get it more. You just start to get it. You understand. You relate to people. When I go out these days, sometimes if I'm on like a busy train station or something, sometimes I have experiences where like I feel like I know everyone. I see someone and they're walking a certain way, like, oh, no, I get you. Or maybe someone else is also walking by, and like, no, I've been there, like, I understand you. And you might be thinking, like, what are you talking about? Like, but actually, man, I think you know what I mean. You can kind of energetically relate to people, whether someone's walking like, and they look stressed, or they look like chill, or they look like they've just had a breakup, or maybe they're like with their boyfriend or girlfriend, and they're like in love, like all of these different states. You're like, you see life, and because you've lived it, because you've experienced it, you relate, you connect, you understand. Now, I know that's a bit general. Really, we're talking today about suffering and compassion. And specifically, when you are suffering, and let's say you move out of it, you then gain that wisdom. You've been there. Now, I share this with you because what I've noticed is that your experience of a life is very different when you have this compassion. It genuinely feels very different. It feels like you're more mature. And like you, again, like I'm going to go back to that phrase we used earlier. You get it. You know when you meet someone and they get it? It's kind of like that. You get a bit more of that. Get a bit more of like life wisdom points, spiritual wisdom points. Maybe they're slightly different, but you know what I mean. And so really just pay attention to this. Okay? Suffering will help you become wise and compassionate. If you're looking to become compassionate really and truly and fully, not just on the sort of superficial level of, oh, I think I'm meant to be compassionate. I think I'm meant to look good and look like I'm being compassionate because I'm spiritual. Trap right there. Rather, drop all that bullshit. Ask myself, am I fucking compassionate or am I not? Do I give a fuck or not? What will help you give a fuck, what will help you be genuinely compassionate is you suffering. It's you feeling like you really lack love. That's a lot of the time what suffering is. It's the experience of a lack of love. So you might not want to, but with this perspective, actually start to open yourself up to being okay with suffering. I know it's like super counterintuitive and you might just hear this and be like, oh no, whatever, in through one ear, out the other. No. Actually, like, take this on. Open yourself up to suffering. If you suffer, be with it. Genuinely, be with it. Because when you come out of it, which you will, you would have gained wisdom and you would have gained compassion. And if you're like me and you're looking to become this really quite holistic person, this person who's really in touch with all parts of themselves and who's really been through it, who's really experienced everything in this body, in this vessel, in this life, then don't run away from suffering. Don't avoid suffering. Be with it and let it create compassion in you. Okay? My friend, that's going to be it for us. Take care. Lots of love. And as always, peace.